try this. I don't. You got sound now?
Is that something?
That it's doing something.
All right. Well, let's give him a minute to tell us.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
We got
sound.
sound. All right. Hey, it's fixed. Cool.
Thanks, Laura.
It's doing something. Yeah. Well, new computer. That's what we're still working out. All the issues and everything here. So yeah. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, okay, it's time to make the graphic for the show. Oh wait, I don't have any of the fonts that I use for this. I don't have the graphics. I don't have.
He was scrambling.
I'm like scrambling to put everything together for the show because it's like I was putting everything together for work.
Yeah.
That was the main thing, and also to look cool.
And it does. It's huge. It's like
it's gonna look way cooler after all the LEDs get here.
Oh, I just noticed the light colors change in your computer.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be even better once I get the LEDs.
I know.
It's gonna look great.
Cool.
I'm waiting. I gotta get new fans in there, and those are coming this weekend. You can still order stuff, Laura. That's how you get a computer if you if you can't leave the house. I was outside earlier. I had to go to Tops.
Yeah, I had to send him to Tops.
And then you're like, I need paper towels, and I need condensed milk, and I need peanut butter chips.
Okay,
like,
to be fair,
yes,
I needed condensed milk and peanut butter chips and
yes.
Reese's peanut butter cups because you wanted Reese's peanut butter cup fudge.
I saw the thing and I shared it with you. Yes,
and I will make it for you when the world is not ending. Until then, you have the lemon crinkle cookies that I made you. So suck it up.
Yes, they are fantastic.
Yeah,
I had some yesterday.
I haven't eaten one yet.
I also bought a no-bake cheesecake to.
Yeah, you're gonna eat your cookies first.
Mm-hmm. Look at the look she's giving me. Look, I'm watching us on the screen here. You just look at the look she's giving me when I said I want the cheesecake, and she looks mean. You look angry. You're like, no, you're eating these fucking cookies.
I made those cookies for you.
You did, and they're good.
I mean, I can't give them to anyone else. It's not like I'm seeing anyone else or that I would give baked goods in a time of plague. Unless I prepared them, under sterile conditions, which I do my best, but I don't think the kitchen is sterile like a hospital room. But, yes. So...
Give a little boost of audio to the folks listening on the All WNY stream, too, and also the podcast later on, because that's... boost that up a gig, because that's not even coming close to our usual normal volumes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What I was saying when we didn't have volume is Windows has been fucking with the volume on me. Like, I went to work the other day and I recorded the whole thing, and then I looked at the waveform. The waveform's like tiny, and I'm like, the fuck? Luckily, it was like, audible, and I was able to, edit it and use it, make it usable, and then I went into my settings, and it changed from my usual volume setting for my microphone to something way lower, and I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, yeah.
So I know that we can't go anywhere.
Laura is asking where I've gone this week, and I will tell you.
Just to Tops, right?
No, but I will,
that's right.
I will tell you in a moment. I'll let you finish your story first.
I forgot what my story was.
Well, you were going to say we can't leave the house.
We can't leave the house, but entertainment is still coming to us.
This is true. I watched a Garth Brooks live stream the other day.
Yeah, there's that, and there's lots of local stuff going on.
I watched Coping with Dystopia 1 last week. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yellow Sauce.
I fell asleep during it.
Yellow Sauce was on it, complete with me on a screen.
Did they have you on a tablet or something?
Yeah, they had a tablet. It was right between them, like right here, and they were sitting on a couch. It was like right here on the top of the couch, and they started the video off with me narrating for Space Wizard, and they came back and said, and then like it just stopped at the end of it. And it's just a picture of me, like just in between them, and I'm just sitting there commenting the whole time, like, man, you guys should really like, just have that as a picture of me in your house. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like Marge Simpson's boat painting. Like if something bad happens to it, you have a whole closet full of them and you just hang another one up, you know? But yes, I did unfortunately have to go out a couple of times this week. Obviously, you know, the grocery store is one thing.
Right.
I don't hate that. I don't mind that. I do absolutely wash my hands and shower as soon as I get home.
He showers before.
Well, you insist I shower.
I mean, I was kind of kidding the first time, but I'm kind of glad you do it.
And that's why I continue to do it, is because you had said it the first time. And what I, you know, but I was coming home to like clean up the studio.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to shower and then clean the dusty ass studio.
And then you took another shower.
No, I have not yet taken another shower since I cleaned. Last night I took a shower.
After you vacuumed.
After I went in the basement. Because I was looking
Ew.
I was looking for the computer before the last computer, and I went in the basement, and there's a whole like computer graveyard down there, right? There's like my old computer is down there, and then there's like another computer that was just randomly acquired. There's an old, like, taken apart laptop. It's just, yeah, it's all, how far? Yeah. Well, I've already made it. So if you had less than 10 minutes into the show, you win. Anyway, for a Simpsons reference. Anyway, but yeah, and it's just like cobwebs everywhere. So I went down there and I'm like, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. It turned out it was in the closet in the room next to this one.
In Madison's room.
Yes, in my kid's room, and which I found out when I went to go throw some boxes and shit in there. Like, all right, these are boxes I want to keep, and then here's like 20 boxes that need to go into the recycling.
Oh my gosh.
And then I found a box in there that needed to go in recycling. Like there was nothing in it.
It was a air conditioning box.
Conditioning box, yeah.
I mean, the air conditioners don't even come out of the windows in the wintertime or anything here, so
yeah,
we don't need
got nowhere to put them.
I know.
But anyway, but no, Tops is not the only place I've been. I did. So I ordered all the parts from Amazon, which now, you know, Jeff Bezos is being a dick. Like, hey, I'm the richest man in the world, but everybody should donate to Amazon so we can keep running our business.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking
seriously,
crazy.
Dude. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but I ordered from Amazon because, you know, I've got a business account there, and you know, it's just 2-day shipping is much better for me than having to wait till the end of the week or something. You know, but I had like 3 packages delivered on Sunday, and there was supposed to be a 4th, but they left. The tracking indicated that they didn't have access to the property, which, okay, that's fucking weird. So I went on Twitter to complain and didn't get a response. So I called, and I was trying to get a human, and it's like, your estimated wait time is over 1 hour. And I'm like, yeah. No. Like, I want to, like, and this is Monday morning now, so I'm like, I want to make sure I'm getting this today, because it was my hard drive for my new computer.
Yeah.
And that's kind of important.
A little bit.
So I'm like, all right, let me, so I'm like, you know, I went through their automated system, and I was going to schedule a redelivery in hopes that I'd be able to schedule it for today. But it was for, you know, that day, Monday. And, it's like, well, you know, your options are tomorrow through like April 5th. And I'm like, yeah, no, I want it today. Mm-hmm. So I backed out of that menu and I went into like schedule a pickup, and scheduled a pickup at the post office on William Street. And
not the closest post office.
No,
right?
no. South Park is the ideal one. And I would have ended up going to South Park anyway because I had to mail out a CD.
Yeah.
And you have to go to the post, like you can't do media mail through their website, which is another ridiculous thing.
Yeah, bummer.
And then you got to buy the box because you can't just ship a CD in like a little padded thing unless it's in a jewel case, right?
Yeah,
but
right.
Ours aren't in jewel cases; they're in eco jackets. So to send it out, you have to go to the post office. You have to buy a box, and you have to pay for and the box costs just as much as the shipping. So it still ends up costing $5 to ship a CD.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, anyway, which is not nearly as bad as, you know, $7.50 to ship a T-shirt. But, but anyway, I went to the post office because now the tracking says that I've scheduled a pickup. So I'm like, all right, well, okay, I guess I'm going to William Street to pick this thing up because I'm not sitting on hold for an hour to try and tell them, hey, can you bring it to South Park and I'll pick it up there.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it. Packed up the CD, called an Uber because I don't want to take a bus.
Right.
Because NFTA is like, we hope you guys don't get sick is basically NFTA's stance on the whole thing. You know, they're telling you follow CDC guidelines and don't leave the house if you're sick. Like, obviously, don't leave the house if you're sick, but how many people are actually listening to that advice?
And this particular virus lingers for 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks before you show symptoms. So you can be a carrier and not be sick.
So I was, you know, if they would say like, okay, we're disinfecting the buses after every trip, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, you know what, I can take a bus, but I'm not doing that. I figure Uber's probably a little bit safer. There's one person, you know, and it's their car, so they probably are cleaning frantically so they don't get sick.
Clean, yeah.
And so I got this guy, and he's a bassist who you know, plays in some local bands, and that's his means of making money. So he's doing Uber now to make up for that, because obviously all the bars and clubs are closed, so you can't play out. So I took an Uber there, and I took an Uber back, and I got there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to send this package out, and I also have a pickup. And she goes and she looks and she says, oh, there's nothing back here for you. Okay, that's weird. And she says, let me, you know, I talked to the supervisor. Supervisor's going to come out and talk to you. Like, okay, cool. So I go, and I'm standing there, and I'm just waiting. Finally, like 20 minutes later, I get a supervisor. And guy's like, okay, let me look into this for you. And, you know, so I told him the whole thing. I gave him the tracking number. I said, this is what the status is. It says it's being held for pickup. And it's, you know, you know, I told him how I got to that point of it being picked up, just basically the whole story I just told. And he says, okay, let me look into it for you. And he goes and he walks away, comes back 5 minutes later. He says, okay, well, it's out on the truck for delivery. Your carrier's got it, your normal mail carrier, so it'll come with your mail today. I'm like, why didn't it come yesterday? And he says, well, you know, I know what it says. But what probably happened is it got routed to the wrong post office, and, you know, it got routed to Cheektowaga instead of here, and that's so it didn't get on the truck with the rest of your stuff, and they never made a delivery attempt. Like, then why the fuck are they telling me they made a delivery attempt? Like,
because there's not an option for I fucked up.
So now, yeah, I guess. So now I'm out $25 for taking an Uber there and back.
Yeah.
And, you know, just crazy. Like, Jesus. You know, I mean, hey, if I'm helping out to, you know, a bass player who's out of work and a mother who's, you know, also not working other than Uber, then sure, that's, you know, I'll take that. Yeah. But still, I mean, like, it was just ridiculous. Why are you going to tell me, you know, your status update says one thing and then it's just a completely different thing when I'm told, oh, this is probably what happened. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Come on, guys. I expect this kind of shit from FedEx. FedEx, we got a package from FedEx coming Friday. We finally got some cat litter coming.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, it was. Well, they were saying like the 30th. It wasn't going to get here.
I know. I was so scared. I was like, we're not going to make it. We're going to have to go to the store and find some cat litter.
There is cat litter at the store. There's no paper products though.
Yeah.
Just out. There's like napkins.
Okay, well.
But there's no paper towels, no toilet paper. Still all gone. Well,
I mean, we're good on toilet paper. We're okay on paper towels, depending on how much I clean. And I've been trying to use, like, cloth rags to clean instead of paper towels when I can.
That's why I bought this. I mean, like, I've been using this shit here to clean my keyboards.
Can I touch it?
You can. This is a Color Coral Universal Dust Cleaner. And I want to tell you something, though. Don't order this on Amazon, because if you take a look there, the expiration date was last year.
Yeah.
And basically, you can't clean this stuff. You use it to clean your keyboards until it turns gray, and then you throw it out. That's how it works. So there's all kinds of dust and shit in there.
That's really gross. I want to touch it, but I don't have any hand sanitizer in here.
So like when
it's ew. I don't like it.
When I was a kid, they put out this stuff, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff that was like meant to be like the ooze. The
secret of the ooze, yeah.
It was meant to be the ooze. So it's like this green slime kind of stuff, and that's basically what this feels like to me.
Yeah, it's very if you took it out of the jar, it wouldn't hold its shape, would it?
No.
Okay.
It'll eventually
Flatten like
flatten
a
out.
pancake.
Yeah. But it's cool because when you put it over the keys and pull it up, it looks like a waffle. But yeah, I wanted to clean up my keyboards a little bit, especially this one because it's got the LED lights and there's always all kinds of dirt and hair and shit in there. So it's
beard hairs.
Yeah. So it did a pretty decent job. There's still,
I'd say it did pretty good.
I think what I need to do is like take the keys out and actually get in there with like a paper towel or a rag or something and just actually like scrub in there. But
if we can ever find Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes, those would be great.
Yeah, I didn't look for those, but the cleaning supply aisle's pretty ransacked too.
I would imagine. Maybe next time you go, keep an eye out.
Yeah. Laura asked if you can buy bread at the store. Yes, I actually found 2 loaves of bread today.
Yeah.
Which they are limiting to 2 loaves of bread.
Oh, really?
So I absolutely, I'm like, all right, well, that was all I was planning on grabbing anyway. I'm going to throw one in the freezer and one in the bread box because we're completely out of bread.
Yep, and we eat sandwiches.
I bought milk. I bought some frozen dinners.
I didn't even look in the freezer to see what you got.
Yeah, we were talking about, we bought some Marie Callender's lasagna last time.
Yeah.
And you were saying, next time get just cheese. Don't get one with meat. They don't have the one without meat. It's literally just that one kind. So there's one of those in there. There's that buffalo mac and chicken that you didn't want to eat the other day because you asked me if the chicken is spongy. Yes, Marie Callender's chicken is typically spongy.
I don't like the spongy chicken.
And I think there's like steak and potatoes and
dibs.
And meatloaf.
Okay.
Their meatloaf's good.
The meatloaf I can live with.
Their meatloaf's good. You'll like that.
Oh
so
my
I'll
God,
take the other two.
I
It's
make
fine.
A meatloaf.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You've had my meatloaf, haven't you?
I think so.
I feel like you have. My meatloaf is hella good. My mom taught me how to make it. Hi, Mom.
Is mom listening?
She usually has it on. She doesn't always listen.
She should put on the YouTube and see if you can spot the Easter egg in the shot here.
I don't know. Well, I sent her a picture.
Well, she's seen it. I was looking at the camera shot and I'm like, you know what needs to be done? And I did it. And it's there if you're looking for it. But anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, it's there. But anyway. Yeah, I found mostly everything that I was on my list. Well, actually that's not true at all. I didn't find anything that was on the list except for Pepsi and milk and frozen dinners. Mm-hmm. And I bought lunch meat cuz that tides me over.
Right.
I meant to grab some macaroni and cheese and I forgot.
That's okay. We'll survive.
I'm sure I'll eventually have to go back to Tops. Anyway, I don't like going to the store right now. And
I know.
And again, I'm not afraid of me getting sick. I'm afraid of you getting sick.
I'm kind of really scared too.
And but when I go to Tops, it's like, okay, like I gotta grab the products, which is not awful for me. I'm not worried about that because I'll just wash my hands when I get home. But then what gets me is like, okay, now I have to touch all the touch screens.
Why don't you go to the person?
Because I don't want to go to the person. The line's usually long. I want to get out of there. I hate being in that store.
Yeah, that store is like crammed, and I don't know. Some of the people that work there, like that one girl that was yelling at me because I knew how to use the machine the one time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she was scary.
Yes, Laura, I did wear that suit, that jacket in a YouTube video. But anyway, but yeah, but then you got to touch the touch screen, and then you got to, and even if you didn't have to touch the touch screen at the easy scan, you've got the the credit card machine.
Yeah.
Because I got $40 cash sitting on the desk, but that's got to go in the banned cash box because that's from like the CD and like the payment from last show.
Yeah.
So like that's got to go in the cash box. I just haven't had a chance to throw it in there. That's why it's been sitting on the desk for a week or whatever.
You were cleaning in here, and you didn't just.
I haven't.
Oh, the stuff's in the other room.
Yeah, it's in the other room. I've had to go in the other room, but I haven't opened the cash the merch box. Like I threw the CDs on top of the merch box because I needed to get them out of here, so I had some room. That
merch box is going to have to be reorganized with the CDs.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big, relatively decent sized box.
Yeah, it just needs to be reorganized. It'll be fine.
I'm like looking through all the boxes in here. I'm like, what the fuck is this box? Like, oh, that's this box. Okay. Yeah, we sent some of those home with my drummer, who like, here, man, if you want to sell some of them, take some. You know.
Get that Lockport area.
Yeah. I got people I've never worked for before sending me orders. I have a UPS package scheduled for delivery tomorrow. Here's the kicker: is I just ordered, I ordered a new graphics card for this computer, like a pretty decent one, you know, and then I ordered a monitor, and then I had to order the cable to hook the monitor up because this particular monitor doesn't have the same hookup as this one in front of me that I'm replacing. So I ordered all that. The cable's getting here tomorrow. The graphics card itself hasn't shipped. Okay. And the monitor's getting here Monday.
So you're just gonna have a cable.
I'm just
sit
gonna
there,
be like
twirling it.
Yeah, which I just bought some XLR cables I could do that with. So yeah, got those today
and you
too.
Can practice coiling.
I get some XLR cables. They were like they were the daily pick on Guitar Center's website. Because I always check, a musician's friend in Guitar Center. I never with the intent of actually buying anything, but just to see if there's anything like, oh, hey, that's a really good deal. Yeah. Which I've jumped on a couple of times. I got the 4 cables, the guitar cables in the hanging up in the closet.
Didn't you actually get 5 cables because they fucked up a little?
No, I got 3 cables. Said, hey guys, you were supposed to send me 4, and then they sent me a shorter one.
That's what they did.
So that was
But you can use that for your pedal board and stuff, right?
My pedal board is literally one thing now, so I don't need patch cables. Oh. I literally, because I just got the LT, so that's just one unit. Oh. That's got everything built in, and also like the only thing I would probably hook up is my other expression pedal, which just already comes with a cord. So
yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, they gave me, I think it was like, it was 20-foot cables I was supposed to get, and I think they gave me like a 10 or a 15 was the other one, and I'm like, what the fuck, guys? And they're like, they never responded. So it's like, oh, great. So way to go, musician's friend. Yeah, well, you guys customer service is top rate. Shout out to Sweetwater though, they are fucking awesome. Just for no reason, just like everything I've ever bought from Sweetwater, I don't need anymore. Because the first thing I bought was some 1-spots because I'm like, okay, yeah, this will work. And then like the polarity was wrong on the cable. So I'm like, okay, why doesn't this work? So I wrote them back, like, can I just send these back to you guys? I'll send everything back in the original boxes. I think my girlfriend ate the candy already, but like I'll buy you a candy bar if that helps. And they're like, no, don't worry about sending it back. We'll just refund you because it's a small item. It's going to cost them more to ship it back to themselves. Yeah. And then it's going to cost to refund me. So they just refunded me. And then I was like, okay, well, when I'm ready to buy something else, I'll go through them. So I bought a power supply when I was using the HX Stomp and the HX Effects. And then I sent back the HX Effects. So now I don't need the power supply, which is just sitting on my pedal board with my Stomp that I'm not currently using. But I intend to hook up to the computer to just have an interface to record guitar.
Oh, cool.
Or I might sell it.
Yeah.
Depends on who's looking for an HX Stomp, Brian. Anyway, but so yeah, but I saw a couple of XLR cables for like it was like $20 or $30, and mine are getting pretty beat up that have been coming to band practice with me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this 2-pack of XLR cables. They're 20-foot cables, so that gives me plenty of length to get to the PA that's usually directly in front of me. Right. And also, I can use the other one to go out from my LT into my head rush back there, my speaker, and which would probably be a better connection than using a guitar cable. Yeah. So, like, all right, cool. Yeah, let me buy these. So they just came today. So, just 2 20-foot, guitar cable, or not guitar cables, XL microphone cables, and they're not big. They're like this big, I know, like they're about as wide as the music is art on my shirt if you're watching on YouTube.
That's about a foot.
Yeah,
A foot wide.
So these two cables that just easily stack right on top of each other come in this huge fucking box. It was like,
It was really
oh yeah,
big.
just giant. And I'm like, I saw it on the porch as I was bringing out like 6 other boxes going to recycling.
You're taking recycling out this week.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta break down. I
gotta.
gotta break down all that shit
Yeah,
too.
that's
so.
all you.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of boxes. Well, all these computer components all come separately in, even though I ordered them all at the same time, mostly. It's just, okay, let's see. So I had ordered a case that came in a separate box, and then the hard drive came in its own box, and then the motherboard and the RAM came in a box, and just.
You know what though? FedEx did put it off to the side.
It was USPS.
Oh.
That's why it was off to the side.
Every time I think, yay, FedEx.
No,
it was
no.
UPS.
The only time FedEx doesn't seem to fuck up is when we do when we get our cat litter and cat food. Is they'll put it off to the side or they'll put it in the hallway.
You know what they have done though? They have put it directly in front of the front door so that you couldn't open the front door without hitting the cat litter.
Oh yeah.
And these are 35-pound buckets of cat litter. So, like, say this was next door where there's a handicapped woman.
Sure.
That
She's
would have
not gonna
been
be
a
able to open that
fucking
door.
problem.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't want to deal with that either. Like, come on. It had to be right in front of the door. There's a whole huge porch.
It's great. I got to remember that these are the top 4 buttons this time for music.
Oh.
Because I assume that the left on the bottom there is or in the the third spot there, that's probably whatever the last song we played last week was.
The cyan.
And and then the blue is the outro music for Board Wrestling Fan Radio.
Oh.
Bluud Brothers says it sounds like FedEx is trying to kill us.
They are. They're like, I don't want to deliver these heavy ass buckets.
Got Bluud Brothers. We got a song from them coming up a little bit later on in the show. Second hour on the list here. But recording it into the board, that was like, hey, Buffalo rappers who can rap and not sound like all this crap that's out there today.
Yeah.
So stick around for that. But right now we're going to play Bighorn Sheep, who are playing, scheduled to play April 18th at Mr. Goodbar. I'm doubting that's going to happen.
And then they also have Mutton Fest coming up in July. Hopefully this is all over by then.
July 17th through 19th, if they're able to. FedEx has had it out for me for years. Go check my Twitter feed. Anyway, we'll talk more about that when we come back. But this is Bighorn Sheep on All WNY Think So Joe Show. Song's called Keeper of Transitional Records on the Think So Joe Show.
Over and then we'll show this world the end of man.
Bighorn Sheep on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
We haven't played them before, have we?
I don't think we have. I think that was a first.
Yeah.
I think everybody today's a first. Maybe not Vulcan. I think we might have played Vulcan before, but
Are you sure?
I think everybody else today, at least, is a new play here on the show.
We're popping cherries left and right.
Got 203 episodes in, and you guys are finally getting played. So, I mean, a lot of it is, who's got upcoming shows, and we usually promote the upcoming shows, especially like right at this point in the show, we promote the upcoming events, and then a lot of the bands that we play, actually all the bands we play are usually playing shows that weekend. So this week we did a little different, because obviously nobody's playing actual shows.
Yeah.
There are some live streams we'll talk about in just a minute, but so what you did was you asked for...
I asked for music to listen to because I was bored, and I decided I wanted to listen to some local music instead of just putting on my usual, crack rock steady.
Me, on the other hand, I go into the bathroom like, Alexa, play Metallica.
He did.
I totally did.
He totally did.
And then I skipped like 3 songs. So.
And I was like, you know what? If you're going to skip that many fucking songs, you don't like the band.
I wanted to listen to old Metallica.
It's trash.
Thrash. You're missing an H. It's thrash. Anyway, it says the girl who listens to Pearl Jam. Anyway.
Oh, come on. You know you're going to like it once you give it a shot.
Anyway, so, but yeah, you asked for music.
I asked for music, and I got such an overwhelming response. I listened to at least a little bit of everybody who shared, and it was all amazing, you guys. Western New York is amazing, great music. And actually, one of my friends that lives in Orlando that I went to college with shared his band's music, too. And that was super exciting because I haven't talked to him in a decade. So it was cool to see what he's up to a little bit. But yeah, that's where we found some of this music. So thank you for sharing your music.
A little bit of behind the scenes on the show is every week you put out, hey, who's got shows coming up? Everybody gives you shows, and you write them all down on a piece of paper, or 2 or 3. A couple of weeks ago it was like 3 sheets.
Yeah.
Front and back, and like 90% of those shows didn't happen.
Yep.
But usually give me a sheet of paper. If you're watching on the YouTube, just like this, and you'll star some bands that you think would be great to play. And you'll see if I hold this up here, we got, Perspectives and Vulcan, who are coming up a little later. Bighorn Sheep and Bluud Brothers are all starred on this list. You've also got Andrew J. Reimers starred on the list because he's actually playing right after the show today at 8:30. And that's
he's live streaming from Facebook.
Facebook Live with Andrew J. Reimers. He's been inspired by all of the Facebook and other streaming concerts he's seen and wanted to join the party. So tonight at 8:30, he's going to play some original music and tell stories about the songs or past CPX shows and who knows what else. It's been a beautiful thing seeing the generous donations to musicians in this time, and he's happy to accept tips while he's playing. His Venmo is Andrew J. Reimers.
All one word.
At the very least, he hopes you'll join him to forget about life for a few minutes or remember crazy nights from years past. I'll tell you, we've had Andrew J. Reimers on the show a few times. One of my favorite musicians and local personalities. Also does the Johnny Cash Experience.
Yep.
But he's been here. He was the last person to play a cover on this show before we were told no covers. He came on. He did a great rendition of Real Big Fish Beer. Mm-hmm. And also
that was before my time.
Played a Rearview Ramblers song called "You Can't Buy Beer with Condolences," which was I think my request for them to play. Him and Katie, his violinist, and and it was a fantastic time. And I'm sure tonight will be just as fun if you tune in to his Facebook page, and I don't know if he's doing it on his Facebook page or on this event page, or if
I don't know.
I don't know where exactly it's going to be, but look for Andrew J. Reimers and check out his live show at 8:30 tonight. It's going to be good. I've watched a lot of good shows. Like I watched that Coping with Dystopia. Mm-hmm. We watched Psycho Stick a little bit over the weekend.
That was cool.
I saw Garth Brooks the other day, and it's cool to see everybody just kind of coming out of the woodwork. Like, hey, let's do this thing.
I have a question. Do these count as concerts that you attend? Like, when you say, like, oh, yeah, I saw Garth Brooks, Did you really see Garth Brooks because you saw a live stream?
No, I don't think I don't think so. And especially with the Garth Brooks thing, because it was basically Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood with an acoustic guitar and just a very small staff, filming and streaming. And they were just, going off the cuff and playing stuff. So they, they were doing a lot of covers, and they were doing a lot of rarities and stuff like that people have requested. Which is great. And they said, I think they did another one sometime over the weekend, or at least like an introduction to, they had a special on PBS.
Oh.
But it was not a full-blown concert. Like the Psycho Stick one, on the other hand, that was pretty much a full-blown concert. Just they were in their basement.
It was the length of a concert. They had lighting, it wasn't great lighting.
No.
But it was almost as good as Stamps lighting.
Dropkick Murphys had a fantastic...
Dropkick Murphys was awesome.
Which they did in a actual venue. And
it was like the first day of the quarantine.
Yeah. Who did... somebody local did it. Aqueous, I think, did a local live stream from Ironworks.
Okay.
So there was nobody there. It was just them on stage, and they did the live stream from there, which is what that Buffalo concert series we talked about last week was intending to do, was get bands on actual concert stages and shoot concert videos to stream. And I think that's a cool concept. Right now we're working out, we're supposed to be playing April 4th as part of the Folk and Punk Cabin Fever stream. So we're working out how we're going to pull that off. Right now, we're scheduled for, I think, 8 o'clock, and then Yellow Sauce is on at 8:30.
Why did they do that to you?
Yeah, I know. It's like, I saw the lineup in the group chat, and I'm like, okay, Eric, I will teleport from one band to the other.
With my lack of car.
How I don't know. I'm gonna teleport from John's house to Leland's house or Ryan's house or whoever they're doing. I mean, they've got the video. They could just use the video again.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I literally sat here with the camera going and the microphones and sat there and actually edited them together because I didn't want to use because the quality wasn't great just recording direct to the computer. So I wanted to just shoot it on the camera, but also have the same quality audio that I would normally have. So I shot that and sent it to them, and they've got that, so they can use that whenever they need it. But anyway, also going on this week is...
It's actually right after the show.
Oh, this is yeah, okay.
Right? This is on this, yeah.
No, Friday.
Oh, my bad.
Friday. March 27th on Facebook Live at 6 p.m. Eastern. It is the Jamie Holka extended quarantine happy hour. And then also Friday the 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern, it is Jamie Holka and Peter Vincent quarantine. Well, I guess that's the same broadcast, I would imagine. Extended quarantine happy hour, but Jamie Holka and Peter Vincent, two incredible
musicians,
talented local musicians. Like Jamie Holka is one of those guys. You see him play, and you're just like, why do I try to do anything? Like, why am I even picking up a guitar? Listen to this guy.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. First time I ever saw him was him and Bruce Wojcik had a group together called Brothers of Invention.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to play at the bar at the hotel that I used to work at. Not the one I just recently quit a couple of years ago, but the one I worked at before that. They used to play at the bar like at least once a month.
That's cool.
So one night they're supposed to play, Jamie and Bruce. And next thing I know, Fred Schaefer walks in the door. Leo McDonald walks in the door. And Denny Pelzinski walks in the door. And the bartender's like, call the radio stations. What's up, dude? Like, Clear's playing here tonight.
Oh, shit.
Fucking Clear? Like, I've heard of those guys. I've heard them on the radio. So I call I call up the radio station. I'm like, hey, I got some news about one of the artists. They're playing here at this place. And I don't think I ever mentioned it on the air or nothing, but because why the fuck would they? Because it was local music.
Right.
Even if it was like
was the biggest local music around.
One of the couple of bigger bands, Jamie Holka, not Jamie Holka, but Bruce Wojcik, and Fred Schaefer in Clear. And that was my first time seeing Clear was that night.
Yeah.
And they gave me like tickets to give away when I was DJing It's like, oh, we're gonna give away tickets to go see Clear at this show next week. At wherever the fucking Niagara Falls.
Right. That's cool.
Probably Evening Star or something. But yeah, it's just but yeah, Jamie was just always fun to watch. I would pop in there and catch them playing, and Jamie's just an incredible musician.
Yeah.
Peter Vincent is great in his own right, and that's going to be a great live stream. That's Friday at 6 p.m.
And then at 7.
And then at 7. And I'm not sure what the link is, and I guess you'll probably have to see it then. I don't know how this all works. This is all, I'm sitting here like an old man, like, I don't know how all this technology works. Back in my day, you used to have to go to the bar to watch the concert. We've also got Coping with Dystopia 2. That's also on Friday at 6 p.m., and that goes until midnight, which the first one was really well done. I gotta say,
difficulties, but they were ready for them.
Yes, and they actually had like full-blown graphics for the technical difficulties and everything.
Yeah.
Just and like the lower thirds were great on those too. And just like, oh man, like just as somebody who's made lower thirds and is working to like start producing more video content, is just watching that was just like, man, they did a really good fucking job. Especially somebody who puts out live video every week and doesn't always it doesn't always work right. Right. Obviously, we had troubles with the audio at the start of this show. That's on me though, because I set up a new computer and I'm just like, oh, it's asking me for what my audio, device is. So I set the audio device thinking that's going to work. Nope, I had to set it somewhere else in the same program to get it to work. So that's what happened. If you tuned in early and noticed we didn't have any audio for a few minutes there. So Coping with Dystopia 2, that's this Friday. And
no locals this week.
No locals this week, but that's all right. There's still going to be some fantastic music. You've got Rob of the Taxpayers, She, Her, Hers, Marissa, Pigeon Pit, Spud Bugs, Austin Possum Music, Aaron Incoherent, Churches and Trains, Smitten for Trash, Bare Knuckle Honey, Dirty Harry from Florida, and Spyro the Human.
Those are all some great names.
Spyro the Human, not to be confused with Spyro the Dragon.
Right. We wouldn't want to confuse you.
No. That's probably going to be a fantastic lineup. I'm not really familiar with the artists on there. I really enjoyed what I watched last week.
Yeah.
For Coping with Dystopia, because I tuned in around Yellow. Like, we tuned in early.
We did.
We didn't want, we tuned out, and then we tuned back in. I tuned back in anyway for Yellow Sauce.
I fell asleep.
Because I wanted to see how well that video worked for them for doing the live stream like that. So I tuned back in for Yellow Sauce, and I caught, basically the whole rest of the show, because I think Frankly Lost was one of the last ones. No, you know what? Days and Days was the closing.
Yeah, but Frank was
towards the end.
He was one of the last ones.
And I love Frank.
He's great. He's so entertaining.
He did a show for us once, for you actually, for the
it was a
Food
benefit
Not Bombs.
for Food Not Bombs. That was a horrible show,
and
be honest. But
all the bands were
were great. It was more.
Frank was just awesome.
And he was such a good sport.
And you had me out there like taking pictures. It was the first. I've never done concert photography, even though I have in the past had photo passes that I shouldn't have had. I mean, like, they were given to me.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have had them.
Yeah.
you
didn't have a camera.
I didn't have a good camera. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So you sent me out there with a camera, because I have a really decent camera now. I don't have any fancy lenses or nothing for it, but I have a decent camera. And you're just like, oh, bring the camera, take pictures. I'm like, can't you just hire Meredith? And so I'm out there with this fancy ass camera, trying to do my best Meredith Snow impression, like taking pictures. And I got to tell you, Mario Nobilio is damn near impossible to get a picture of.
He doesn't hold still.
He does not.
And his hair.
Oh yeah, Mario is like older than all of us put together, but he is like a fucking wild man on stage.
He is.
Like, he's just nuts. He will not hold still. It's hard to get a picture of him unless he's posing for you.
Yep. Which he does.
Which he does. Knows. He absolutely does. He absolutely does. And Frank actually had taken one of the pictures I took of him. And he shot me a message. He said, "Hey man, could you send me a cropped version of this with your watermark, like, closer to the middle so I can use it as my profile picture?"
Aw.
And like, I don't give a fuck if my watermark's on here. Like, yeah, I took the picture, but I'm not going to profit off of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't know nothing about this business. This is not my line of work. I do have a digital media company, but it's not photography. It's like, narration and video and, that kind of stuff. So I'm just like, sure. So I had to go and like edit it to put my watermark like in the middle of the picture so it would show up on his Facebook profile. When he used it as his picture, and I'm like, that's just fucking cool that I've never taken photos at a concert before like that, and this dude's using my picture as his Facebook. Like, I'm like, now I know how Meredith feels with everybody using her shit, like.
Yeah, he was a great sport. Because that show was such a wreck.
Oh,
and he's from out of town. He's from Pennsylvania. He was passing through town and was interested in jumping on the show. He was a friend of Janie Crash. They hooked it up. I was more than happy to bring him in, and
we're always happy to do anything for Janie Crash and the Tall Men. We love them.
Their family.
Yeah.
And acts didn't show up on time, as in they were supposed to be performing at like say 6 and they got there at say 7:30.
The charity didn't show up.
The charity was the performer that didn't show up.
Yeah,
but I wasn't
right.
really going to get into that.
I remember that now because they were like, "Oh no, we'll come and we'll perform," and you're like, "No, just stay home."
Yep, and they still came.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they still came thinking they were going to perform whenever they felt like they were going to perform. I really didn't want to get into that, but it pissed me off, and there's me venting about it. I'm done, though. But Frank was a great sport because the show got cut short. Also because the audience was not behaving.
Yes.
Which broke my fucking heart.
Yeah.
We won't get into that.
No, we won't.
It was just very disappointing, and it's good to know what people are capable of, but it's awful to know what people are capable of.
Yeah.
So if you were in that audience, think twice about whether or not you're welcome at my shows.
Yeah.
But Frank couldn't play his second set.
Okay.
Because we cut the show short between the people being as they were being and the other performers not showing up to perform. So I made the executive decision. It was mine to make. And we cut the show short. We raised some money for a good cause.
Sure.
There is now a West Side Food Not Bombs, which is run by different people. I put a lot more faith in those people.
Sure, I could see that. Frank was a fantastic performer, and he actually played with a full band on Coping with Dystopia the other day. I don't know that I've seen him with a full band. I know I saw him. We were both, I don't know if I even saw his set. We were both at Folk and Punk last year. But I think he played Saturday, we played Friday, and then we came home right after the set because I still had to work. So... because I work every night except for Saturdays, pretty much, and Saturdays is like, okay, time to catch up on work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so I saw his set. One of the guys from Days and Days was the last act, and I watched that. I saw Cardboard Homestead. I saw some other great out-of-town acts. Of course, Yellow Sauce was right smack dab in the middle. I feel bad I missed Sid's set.
Oh,
Sid played earlier. Sid was on earlier in the day. But they did a really good job, and they made the transitions pretty smooth between the artists. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was really
it could have been horrible.
It was really well done. So maybe tune in for part 2 this Friday at 6:00.
Yeah.
And you can find that event page on Facebook, and then it'll give you the link to the YouTube channel, and it'll just...
I think you can watch on Facebook as well.
They'll do everything for you. And again, this is another... they're doing different charities every week. Last week they raised what was it, like $1,600 or something?
That's amazing.
They raised a lot of money for the charity last week. This week, the charity is ISLA Immigration Services and Legal Advocacy. which is a legal services organization that defends the rights of our immigrant communities and advocates for just and humane immigration policy.
That's so important.
So that's
this is stuff that's getting forgotten in our hard times.
I feel bad I didn't donate to that, but I donated to PsychoStick.
Well, maybe this week.
PsychoStick had PsychoStick's doing another one this week too. So
PsychoStick they made bank.
Oh.
They were trying to just make their studio rent for.
I think they were at like 250% by the time they were done.
They made what they were looking for.
I will tell you why I donated. I donated because I wanted to see my name pop up on the screen, which I donated too late for my name to pop up on the screen. It was like during their last song, so they didn't come up. But I said, you know what, they were playing the song that Bill Manspeaker's on. Which I can't think of the name of the song, but
I don't know.
The song that Bill Manspeaker's normally on, and obviously Bill Manspeaker's not hanging out with PsychoStick right now.
Nope.
So I think I like donated $5 to be like to make up for the lack of Bill Manspeaker, or something like that. Who apparently Bill Manspeaker has been kicked out of a studio he was renting in LA because they said that he had the coronavirus.
I hope after this all passes over, there's a lawsuit about this.
I hope so too.
That's so unconstitutional.
Yeah. They like put all his shit outside, and he had to go like find somebody with somebody who could rent him a U-Haul to move all his shit from this studio to I would imagine his apartment or whatever in LA. But
the reason these people have studios is because they can't fit all their equipment in their home.
That's why I need a studio. Look at this shit. You can see the floor, guys. How about that?
I know.
How about
you should let me mop in here.
You can see the floor. What are all you people doing here? Shouldn't you be social distancing? Go away. Go. Get out of here. Get. The fuck?
You're such a dork.
Anyway. Yeah. Well. But yeah, no. I actually. I got tired of not being able to back my chair up more than like half a foot. So.
And I couldn't get in and out around you.
Yeah. Right. So I had to. Well, it started with the desk, and I'll tell you, I started the desk because I was like, in one of the Line 6 Helix groups I'm in, somebody posted their desk, and they're like, oh, yeah, share pictures of your workstation. I'm like, I got a really good workstation, but it's fucking messy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to clean this first. So I cleaned up my desk and took a picture and posted it in the group, and then like half the shit that was on the desk was on your chair. And I'm like, I got a podcast to do tomorrow, so I got to clear that out. So I'm like, all right, I got to figure this shit out. I need to take action. I need to clean and make shit, presentable and maneuverable.
Well, I'm very proud of you. You did a great job.
I
you just need to let me.
I still got more to do.
Well,
after
when
the
you're
show,
done,
so.
let me like sweep and mop in here just to make it fresh.
I vacuumed in here yesterday.
Yeah,
I did,
he like moved the desk and vacuumed like where all the cables and shit are.
Yeah, well, that needed to be done a long time ago.
Yes, it did. I've been saying that.
I'm down here with the air can, and I'm like spraying the power supply, the backup, battery backup units down here, and it's just like fucking Chernobyl.
And you haven't even had those that long.
It's been a year or so. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, you got them since we've been together, and we have only been together for like 2 years.
But I got them when we had a computer in the dining room.
Oh, that's right.
So I got them, I think, just after I got the last computer I had, which was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I never did get around to finishing my FedEx story when we came back, but it's almost music time, so I'm not going to get to it now either. But maybe we'll talk about it when we come back. But real quick before we go, they're still going to be doing March 30th, the March Songwriting Peer Group. That's on Monday. For the Western New York Music Industry Alliance. This is going to be an online-only thing. No, never fear, our beloved group will continue from the comfort of your own home. We'll meet and swap songs and ideas via Zoom at our regular time. The meeting invitation it will be posted in the event page shortly before they start. There's no fee for non-members this time, but donations to the Alliance will be gratefully accepted via PayPal.
Nice.
So, if you're a songwriter, a lyricist, maybe jump in there and download Zoom.
I don't think this is just for lyricists, though.
No, it's not.
Think
it's
this
absolutely
is for
not.
instrumentalists
Yes.
as well.
If you're a musician, you want to get inspired and or maybe help inspire.
Find someone to collaborate with.
Maybe help inspire others. Yeah, jump on this. This is going on. March Songwriting Peer Group is the name of the event page on Facebook. You could go hit that up, and that link will be in that description for the Zoom get together just before the event. So
yeah,
there you go. And we're gonna hit music. Yes, Laura, I know we're late, but we're gonna play a band called Vulcan. Their lead singer I haven't seen in a while. His name's Eric. He used to sing in Diceros. He's been on the show before.
Yeah.
And he's got this new project going on called Vulcan. They've been around for a little while. I think we might have played them on the show once before, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm not sure. So this might be a first. But this is Soul Hostage by Vulcan on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show.
Treated like a
That was Vulcan, the song called Soul Hostage on old WNY Think So Joe show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
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 Heavy.
Yeah.
That's why I was hitting you. I wanted to throw down.
Oh, okay. I
wanted
got you.
to jump in the pit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, great to hear Eric doing great stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with Diceros. I know they just played a couple of weeks ago. They did play Friday the 13th. Part of that big show down at the Rock and Buffalo, which was the night before we played at Evening Star, and then everything got shut down right after that.
Yes.
Like, we were basically forced to stop at that point, because it was like, guys, everybody should stay the fuck home.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. So FedEx.
FedEx.
If you guys don't know my history with FedEx, it is not a good one. Beginning with last year, I got asked to join XM Priory temporarily. Basically, the idea was I was going to fill in for a few shows while their then guitar player had some, neurological issues looked at and taken care of, and shit ended up happening, and he was out of the band, and it's like, okay. And they found another guitar player who's, way better than I am, so cool. By the way, XM Priory's got some new merch out. It's they're
the little rats.
Where did they get the idea to have an idol? What? Trying to think. I've heard of an idol.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
In local music. Who had an idol? Oh, that's right, Yellow Sauce. Anyway, I'm kidding. No, these little rat looking these little rat things look phenomenal. They hooked up with a designer in Texas who did that for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're selling them. They're $15 each. They're up on their web store right now.
Do you know how big they are?
I'm not sure actually.
I'm curious.
But
I wish I had a job because I kind of really want one.
I would buy one, but I don't know where I would put it. All my spaces are almost taken out.
Maybe you could move some of your Funko Pops or your wrestling figures.
I just moved a Funko Pop. I think it's in the corner back there. Yeah,
your
Lady Justice. It's the box is all kind of bent up because it was behind one of my bases.
Yeah.
Which is ironic. But anyway. And Justice for All thing behind a base. Yeah. Anyway. There's a joke in there somewhere, Metallica fans. She don't get it, but
I do. I think I do.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway. So thrash with an H. Anyway, so I ordered this guitar. It's really nice, purple guitar, $650 guitar, and so FedEx isn't supposed to deliver until like 10 a.m. on Saturdays. So it was a weekend. I had my daughter, had to go out and get her, come back home. As I'm on my way to get her, it's like 8:30. I get a text. Your package has arrived from FedEx. The fuck you mean my package has arrived from FedEx? I don't. You must not have been home, because I don't know why I wouldn't just call you and I don't know why I wouldn't just call you and be like, "Yo, bring this in."
Yeah.
But. Like, what the fuck you mean my package is... Like, my package... Like, you're not even supposed to deliver for another hour and a half.
Yeah.
So by the time I get home, it's like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. So this thing's been sitting out there for an hour and a half. And I'm like... And it's like the coldest day of the year last year.
Oh.
So this thing's just been sitting out in plain sight on my porch, by the way, because they can't be arsed to,
they walk it to the top of the stairs and set it down at the top of the stairs?
They don't even do that. They... reach over from the bottom of the stairs and shove it up onto the porch.
So fucked up. Like, it's obviously a guitar.
So like, yeah, good job, FedEx. So that was my first, like, real beef with FedEx. So I messaged them and I say, hey, guys, care to explain this? You delivered early and left it in plain, left a 400, 400. I don't even remember how much I paid for this guitar. 450, 600, somewhere in that range. Still a lot of fucking money to be left in plain sight on the porch when there's videos out there of people stealing fucking packages and shit from people's fucking porches. So it's like, you guys owe me an explanation. And 2, if this thing needs to be set up, you guys need to pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're sorry. We're not responsible for anything that happened, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay. And they're like, we'll make sure we don't do it again. Okay, whatever. So, I contacted the store that I bought it from, Zounds, who I love and I buy from still to this day.
Yeah.
And they,
they're not
like,
their fault.
Well, it's not their fault. And I'm like, guys, like, is there anything that can be done here? And they're like, well, there's nothing, we can't really do anything, but they gave me I think $50 gift certificate.
Really?
Yeah. Just because I wasn't happy with my experience. So they gave me a $50 gift certificate, which ended up being part of my down payment on my Stomp.
Nice.
My Line 6 HX Stomp when I got that. So now I've got this beautiful, brand new Purple Burst guitar. I need a case. So I ordered the case from Zounds, who, again, ship FedEx. This case gets here. Gets delivered. It might have been, I don't know what day of the week it was, but it gets delivered. It gets put on the porch in plain sight. Just left on the porch.
Yeah.
Okay, so I complain again, and they're like, well, okay, we won't let it happen again. And it just continues to happen. Mm-hmm. The only time I don't have a problem with FedEx, and you mentioned that we do have a problem with FedEx, is when we order fucking cat stuff from Target. And apparently we still have problems then. So, I don't know. So my problem with FedEx has always been, you guys can't just, put this off.
You can't just...
I don't care if you don't try the door. Right. The front door here, the outside front door here is always unlocked. Mm-hmm. You can always get into my hallway. You can't get into my house, but you can get into my hallway. And you can put the package in the hallway. USPS did it today.
UPS usually does it, I think.
UPS did not today. UPS actually left my package in plain sight today, but that's neither here nor there. We'll forgive them this time. It was
There's a plague.
Yeah, right, exactly. But no, the post office actually, I got a couple of T-shirts in the mail today. They put them right on the top shelf in the hallway. But yeah, but even if you don't try the door and don't think, hey, maybe I can put this in the front hall, you can't put it off to the side of the porch, next
to the
against
stairs. There's a whole porch.
Yep.
All you have to do is walk to the top of the stairs and go off to the right a little bit.
Oh yeah, exactly. If you just put it right up against the front rail,
to the right,
just right up against the front rail of the porch, nobody's gonna see it.
Yep.
That would be fine. I wouldn't complain about that. Even if my biggest problem with the guitar was it was left out in sub-zero temperatures,
right? Which
is not good for a fucking guitar. I still need to get that thing set up, honestly, but but I've played plenty of shows with it, so But yeah, seriously, just common sense. At least put it off to the side where nobody can see it, and then I don't complain, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, and he doesn't complain.
Yeah, but then, but no, every single time I go on Twitter and I'm like, FedEx fucked up again, and FedEx is like, oh, DM us with your name and your address and your phone number and your tracking number and your all this other, your email address,
and your social security number and your date of birth.
They don't go that far, but it's your telephone number, and I always just reply guys, why the fuck am I gonna even bother typing all that out when all you're gonna do is tell me that, oh, we won't let it happen again, and then we go through this again in 2 weeks when I get something else.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking insane and buy shit all the goddamn time. I don't know.
He does, though.
Shit I don't need. I buy shit all the time I don't need. Why the fuck did I just buy an LED strip to put in my computer case?
I don't know.
It has no function whatsoever other than to look cool.
Light up.
Yeah.
Lights are very important. Don't forget that.
Oh, I agree. I think maybe I just miss stage lights so much I just need a bunch of LEDs in my fucking computer.
Yeah.
I posted on Twitter the other day. I'm like, it started with an LED keyboard. You know? And then it's like, ooh, let me get this LED mouse. Now the keyboard and mouse served a purpose. They have macro buttons so that I can program.
Oh yeah.
I can program shortcuts into them for editing audio, which is great. Like everything's mapped to a button, all the shortcuts I need to use, so I just can edit. I don't even have to touch the keyboard to edit a fucking voiceover.
Nice.
Because I've got all the buttons mapped on the mouse to do all my editing stuff. And then like all the post-production stuff is all mapped to buttons on the keyboard. So that was all functional. So I got those two LED things. And then I got the Rodecaster. And the Rodecaster was necessary because my fucking Behringer board died.
Yeah.
And I needed a board to work on, for work. And also for podcasting, especially for podcasting. I could have just gotten an interface for work.
Yeah.
So I got this, and this has a shit ton of lights on it. It's like, okay, that's a lot of LEDs, and I got a computer that had an LED fan built into the case, or I built a computer with an LED fan already built into the case. So it's like, okay, well, I guess everything in here is gonna light up now.
Yeah.
And then I just ordered 3 LED fans and some LED strips to hook up to the computer and synchronize with the fan that's already in there. So yeah. You know what's cool is you were looking at the thing on the computer case there, the little the fan inside that backlights the little logo on the front. And what's cool is I can actually synchronize that to music.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but supposedly I can synchronize it to music.
That's neat.
Yeah, so that might be something to try. I don't want to try it during the show. We'll try maybe after the show. We'll put on, put something on and see if it synchronizes.
Is NXT on after the show?
NXT and AEW are both on tonight, and NXT is actually having matches tonight. Unlike last week was all just hype packages and stuff. So what they're doing is all the matches that were supposed to take place on WrestleMania weekend for NXT are going to take place over the course of the month of April.
Oh.
Which may or may not have already been taped. In fact, WrestleMania may have already halfway been taped.
Yeah.
If not all the way.
Yeah.
So, I actually saw a YouTube video earlier that was saying WrestleMania spoilers in this video.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I kind of want to look at the WrestleMania spoilers because The Living Brain Dead is supposed to be playing at 8 p.m. on April 4th, which is which is the first night of WrestleMania this year. So I kind of just want to see what I'm going to miss. Not that I can't just come home and pop on the WWE network and watch it.
Right.
I'll tell you, you know what? I got to tell you guys, if you are pro wrestling fans out there, there's a fantastic television show. Its second season is just now starting. It is called I forget the name of the show.
Yeah.
But it's on Vice, and it basically talks about all like these really controversial things that have happened in wrestling. I have to go on YouTube; it'll show it to me, I'm sure. Oh no, we're on a different YouTube, so I can't. I think it's called like Beyond the Ring or something like that, but it's on Vice. If you've got like Spectrum cable around here, you can, and you have that channel, the entire first season is available on demand. I haven't seen the first season yet, so I might pop on an episode while I'm cleaning or something. After the show. Actually, no, because I'm going to watch NXT and AEW while I'm cleaning. So,
what's AEW doing? I know that WWE is it has been no audience.
So what WWE's been doing is they've been doing from their performance center with no audience and just showing a lot of like retro, like older content to kind of fill out some of the time. And the first couple of weeks that they did this was just not good.
Yeah.
Which is just weird because for me, like WWE is one of those, they have a tendency to take negative things and just make great content out of it. Like, They had a guy fall from the fucking ceiling and die, and then the next night is one of the most memorable fucking shows they've ever done because they did a tribute show. And then 9/11 happened, and after 9/11, they were like, okay, well, what are we going to do? We have a TV show on Thursday. And they went live on Thursday. And they were the first big gathering of that size in the United States after 9/11.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty memorable show. And they told everybody, they said, you guys, if you don't want to work, you don't have to work. And they did that for the Owen Hart tribute. They did that for the Eddie Guerrero tribute episodes. So they're really good at taking negative things and things that should fuck everything up. And like the Saudi Arabia thing, when they got stuck in Saudi Arabia last year and had a show in Buffalo the next night, was one of the best episodes of SmackDown in the entire history of that show that's been on for over 2 decades now, and it debuted in 99. So,
Wow.
So they have a tendency to make good content out of bad things, but they've been shitty at doing this one. And a lot of that is, wrestling is much better with an audience.
Yeah.
So they've been, a lot of the criticism towards them is the way they were shooting the shows, because you're having matches go on and you can see all the empty seats and it just looks bare and there's no crowd or nothing. So what AEW did for last week's show, which was the first one after everything got shut down and the first one where they had to kind of reschedule everything. And that was actually supposed to be the episode that was supposed to happen in Rochester, which got postponed. I don't know if they've rescheduled that or not, but I'm sure they will because it's Brody Lee's hometown and he debuted on last week's show. But I digress. The way they shot last week's show is they put the hard camera facing the entrance ramp, so you don't see empty seats. And they had wrestlers in the audience.
Oh.
And they were using them as their characters. And you've got MJF and Shawn Spears out there betting on the matches and shit, just and it was really entertaining. They really did a good job filling the 2 hours to a point where you're not looking at this like, well, this is wrestling to an empty arena. You're looking at this like, man, I miss going to indie shows. Because there's, 10 people in the crowd, maybe. 10, maybe 12, 15. But, they're out there, they're cheering and they're yelling and they're, supporting the guys that are in the ring. And it was really well done. It was like night and day compared to what WWE has done. Now, WWE this week, for Monday Night Raw, they actually got rid of all the empty seats. And they put in a bunch of more like set pieces, like LED displays and stuff. And
they
also
went the expensive route.
They did. And they also moved the hard camera, to shoot towards the entrance like AEW did last week. And it was a much, I wasn't really watching as intently as I had been the last couple of weeks, mostly one, because they were still showing retro content in the middle of the show. Like, I don't, one of the matches they showed was Asuka and Charlotte Flair from WrestleMania a couple of years ago, which was like just basically where they killed Asuka's fucking career. So it's like, all right, I don't really want to watch this match, so I'm going to watch something else. And that's when I put on the Sabres game that was on Monday night, which I want to talk about the Sabres games too that they're showing on MSG. We'll talk about that when we come back from the next song break. So I wasn't really paying attention, but I was kind of looking and seeing like, oh, wait, hey, they're doing this different. And it was much better. It's still weird to see wrestling without hearing a crowd reaction.
Yeah.
But it was much better than it had been the past couple of weeks. And, they kind of, somebody pointed out that they kind of did what AEW had done the week prior.
Yeah.
And AEW's owner, Tony Khan, responded to it and said, with a GIF from Spider-Man, apparently, that said, "I'm kind of a scientist too," to indicate like, yeah, we did that, but it's not been, it's definitely unique content, and I'm interested to see where they go from here. Like NXT will be probably the first time I'm really paying attention to how they've got it laid out now. But I can't imagine that they're going to change much about the set for at least Raw and SmackDown and NXT going into WrestleMania. They'll probably do something different for WrestleMania.
Right.
Which there's rumors going around that they're not doing the entire show at the Performance Center.
Oh, really?
So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I'm interested to kind of see like how that all goes and where the how they present the product at least through WrestleMania, and then hopefully maybe after that we'll see if we can kind of leave houses and have
Go back to normal.
public gatherings again. Hopefully, But that's you would have enjoyed the ending of AEW last week.
Why?
So they're building to this match that they call the Blood and Guts match. It's basically the old WCW War Games match, which was supposed to happen on tonight's show, but because of restrictions on gatherings, they don't want to put 10 guys in a cage.
Oh, yeah.
And being that, 11 guys if you count the referee, that close together, and then cameraman and everything else. So they can't really do that match right now. So they're not. They're postponing that until later. But what was happening, it was the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho's group, against the Elite, which is, Cody Rhodes' group and the guys who basically run the company, 5-on-5, but they took out one of the guys from the Elite. So the Elite are like, well, you got a point there that, my brother's injured and he's not going to be in this match, but that doesn't mean it's going to be 5-on-4 guys. And then you just hear this whirring like a drone, and you see this drone come down. And if you know anything about wrestling in the past, 5 years or so, you knew what this meant, because you're sitting there. If you're like me, you're looking at this like, holy shit, that's Vanguard 1, which is the drone of Broken Matt Hardy.
Which is my favorite.
Which you love, Broken Matt Hardy. And so he's now in AEW, and I imagine he's got creative control that he didn't have in WWE, and can actually do all this crazy broken universe shit now again. And so that was a great way to end the show. So it's, he's lowers the drone into the ring, and they're like, oh, there's our partner. And he's like up in the bleachers, like, up in the rafters, not the rafters, but like, in the crowd, where there would be a crowd. Right. He's up in like a balcony kind of area, and he's just up there looking at him, and crazy look on his face. Delete. So, so yeah, you would have enjoyed that.
Yes, I would have.
As much as I did. And as soon as I saw the drone, I'm like, no. And everybody was expecting Matt Hardy last week, but they weren't expecting that. They were expecting him to be the leader of a group called the Dark Order, which is actually was actually revealed to be Brody Lee, formerly Luke Harper of WWE, who is from Rochester, and that show was supposed to be in Rochester. So it would have been much more impactful had the show taken place as it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Because he, obviously hometown guy is going to get that huge pop from the crowd when he comes out or gets revealed on the screen or whatever, and so that's what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. If you want to hear more, you can listen to Board Wrestling Fan Radio, because we just did a reunion show over the weekend.
Yes, we
were
did.
We were kind of bored, and we're wrestling fans, and we figure other people are bored wrestling fans, and we thought now's as good a time as any to do a reunion special. So we did one, and it's available on BoardWrestlingFan.com, on iTunes, on Google Play, on Stitcher, not on Spotify, because that wasn't a thing when we started. Not for podcasting when we started doing everything. So Stitcher and Google Play and iTunes and all that. But yeah, it was good episode. We had fun. We actually went a little longer than our old episodes, and we didn't do breaks.
2.5, 3 hours.
Oh yeah, we went. Yeah, we went like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
I was sitting there. I wanted to talk to you about something. I'm just sitting there waiting.
You're like, when are you gonna be done? Like, I don't know. When we're done.
I knew that you didn't know you'd be done.
We never had a structure like this where it's like, okay, we have 2 hours to do a show. We used to go 2 hours for shows and have a break song in the middle and like plan to really go 2 hours, but we would go over. And then we eventually said, why are we still doing 2 hours? We don't talk about anything. So let's drop it down to 1 hour, and then eventually we're like, you know what? Why are we still doing this? And so we went away, and apparently went away when one of our co-hosts, Noyce, was in the hospital with brain surgery.
Oh, jeez.
And so when I asked him if he wanted to do the reunion, he's like, yeah, I want to do the reunion. You bastards ended the show while I was in the hospital. Like, content for the show.
Great.
So if you're a wrestling fan, check that out, boardwrestlingfan.com. We're going to get into some music right now. These guys commented in the chat earlier, Bluud Brothers. I got to tell you, I was listening to this song earlier, and, a lot of the time, we don't play a lot of rap on this show. When we do, it's usually Mark Lee.
Yep.
Because I really like Mark Lee. I like his style. I like that he doesn't do the mumble rap kind of thing.
Right.
He does like more old school kind of hip hop. I like that. I actually wore a Mark Lee shirt at my last show.
Yeah.
Just had to rock it. But anyway, but these guys do. Well, you said kind of like an ICP kind of style. I can hear that.
They're. You know what? Before I say this, hey, Cody, if you're still on YouTube, you guys have some shows planned. Aren't you supposed to open for some bigger stuff?
I think you mentioned Twisted. But
I think so, but maybe I don't want to.
Well, let's play a song from these guys, and you can look that up in the meantime. This is the song from Bluud Brothers called "Enemies" on all WNY ThinkSoJoE show.
This is how it goes when we pulled up on a couple of foes. I told them next time that I would talk with the lead. Now I'm standing here in the dark with a severed head. So pour one for the dead,
two for the foes. Sprayed then decayed, that's the way that it goes. A disassembled body, flesh is falling off the bone. They recovered, they remain somewhere far away from home. You were masquerading out here like a snake. Now I'm contemplating how to show up at your wake. Maybe flexing on the green with my middle finger stuck. Yeah, the disrespect is real. No, I never gave a fuck. It was clear you were always gonna ride the other side, but your fragile little pride never lived and let it die. Never show camaraderie, it's gotta be another flaunt. You're an enemy to death, you can deny it all you want. Yeah.
This goes out to all the ones who talk that hope they had their fun. You pushed and prodded, poked and pestered. Inside the damage is done. Been beating me with hate and anger. I can't take it anymore. Bring the axe to your front door and enemies make for a call.
Look at how I got you gassed up. Mad as fuck, every dep you passed up. Every show that we played where you stayed in the back. Stayed mad at the fact, hearing track after track. And we laughed at your bad little, sad little flows. Could've hanged like we're bros, but you stayed on your toes. You're a lame and it shows, cause you aim to be extra. Same stupid name from the day that I met ya. Cracked under pressure, funny I couldn't relate. What could you fake? All of that hate, digging a hole and we're sealing your fate. So we take all of the pieces, you better believe us are coming to flay. Dump in the body, we pour the Bacardi and clean up the shoddy and throw it away. Hey, exasperating now, I think it's fascinating how you're exaggerating. Wow, couldn't captivate your crowd, cause you're hating, ain't mistaken, hate to break it to your pal, but maybe that's the reason that you're bleeding on the ground, bitch.
This goes out to all the ones who talk that hope they had their fun. You pushed and prodded, poked and pestered. Inside the damage is done. Been beating me with hate and anger. I can't take it anymore. Bring the axe to your front door and enemies make for a call. Check it. Pull up in the Chevy with the bass. Wait until I get a fucking taste. You might see me catch another case. Wait until I break your fucking face off the concrete. Now I got the police right behind me. Got your body in the trunk, cruising down the 90. Drinking, driving blindly, never will they find me. I do this on the daily, motherfucker, come and try me. Beating and breaking and shaking and fucking and killing. I gotta be chillin', a villain for real. And I'm keeping it real and I'm holding it down. And I'm holding the crown. And I'm sticking around. You fuck with me, I'll beat your ass and burn your house down. Look, I don't wanna be your friend. I don't wanna play pretend. When I see you at my shows, I'ma treat you like a hoe. I'll be going for your throat, probably gouge your fucking eyes. We're enemies until the day I die, bitch. This goes out to all the ones who talk that hope they had their fun. You pushed and prodded, poked and pestered. Inside the damage is done. Been beating me with hate and anger. I can't take it anymore.
All right, yeah, that was Bluud Brothers, who
Yeah.
are opening for Twisted June 2nd at the Rec Room.
Okay.
I know that's not real wood. I'm not gonna.
Yep, there it is.
Anyway, hopefully, if everything is back to normal by then, hopefully.
And
ICP, they said.
Is that?
So
I didn't look it up because you answered me. Is that the same? That's not the same show, right? Like I definitely have lost track of all of that kind of music since high school.
And thank you guys for chiming in
thanks.
the comments there and letting us know. Yeah. So anyway, and thank you, Karina, for pointing out that people could watch me like bobbing my head and drinking a Pepsi and listen to the music for a minute there before I put the graphic back up. I gotta get all the other shit off the other computer so we could get the lightning bolt going again and all that.
Yeah.
But,
Lightning bolt's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'll just make something new because that's why I built this computer was to do video stuff.
Right.
So
absolutely.
So once I get my graphics card, I'll make new graphics. Ooh. I've been using this computer since I got it, on and off, because like it's new and I don't want to like overheat it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been running at like 100 degrees Celsius, which is like 213 degrees Fahrenheit or something. But I've been using it for folding at home. And if you guys don't know what folding at home is, it is basically they simulate protein particles, and you can donate processing power to help simulate unfolding of these protein particles. And what they're working on right now is they're working on trying to find some kind of vaccine or something for coronavirus. So if you have a pretty decent computer, gaming computer or something like that, you can actually, and it doesn't even have to be a really good computer, because right now this one's not spectacular. It's going to be a lot better once I get the graphics card and everything. But you can actually sign up with Folding at Home. You can join a team if you so desire, and you get points for contributing. And there's like a leaderboard and stuff like that, so they've really gamified.
So since you're a gamer and you're using a gamer computer,
being able to,
you might as well make it like a game.
Well, this actually used to be a thing you could do on PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
You could use Folding at Home on PlayStation 3 and put your PlayStation 3 to work on helping learn more about diseases and things like that. So right now, most of the work is focused on COVID-19, which I had this running for a little while, doing some research on the protein that is the virus itself, and also on some potential drugs to treat it.
Nice.
So, if you have a computer laying around at home you're not using, you want to help out, you just hook your computer up to the internet, you go on Folding at Home's website and just, sign up and set up the little web client or whatever, and it'll connect and it'll get you assignments and it'll put your computer to work for a good cause.
That's so cool.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and and that's part of the reason why I'm like, I need to get cooling fans, because this was running at like 212 degrees.
Yeah.
Whereas right now, where is it? Right now, just not running all that, it's running at 113 degrees.
Okay.
It just jumped up to 159, so maybe that's where it was. But so I'm not trying to stress this out too much, but I'm waiting for this graphics card to come in and all these cooling fans so we can kind of get some airflow in there and get it keep it nice and cool while also still contributing what I'm not using at the time for Folding at Home and towards coronavirus research.
If I had that power.
Yeah. Coronavirus research. So guys, if they, again, if you got a decent, even if just a computer lying around,
yeah,
you can connect and you can do that and just put it to work and help out. So that's what I'm doing. There's some great, fantastic videos out there. I'm actually folding for the Linus Tech Tips team, who is a YouTuber up in Canada.
Oh.
Who I actually had started Folding at Home the night before I actually saw his video about his team and the machine that they're using at their office for Folding at Home, which has like 6 graphics cards in it.
Oh.
And what it'll do, so like, how it works is it's going to take your CPU and put that to work. And then it'll take your GPU, your graphics card, and it's going to put that to work. And any other graphics cards or CPUs you have in the system, it's going to put those to work. And it's going to, they're all going to donate the power to unfolding these protein simulations and figuring out these diseases and how to treat them.
Science is neat.
Oh, it's great. And again, that's been around. It was a thing you could do on PlayStation 3 back in the day. I don't know if you have a PlayStation 3 laying around, maybe you could still do it. I don't know.
I wonder.
It's something to look into if you have one laying around. Mine got stolen, so, it is what it is.
I feel like we've mentioned that a few times today.
Probably, yeah.
Not on the show, but just
no, I'm pretty
in
sure.
life.
I'm pretty sure I might have mentioned it on the show. Well, no, I don't think I mentioned it on the show. I think we were talking offline. Yeah, because we were talking about AJ Jordan after we listened to Bluud Brothers.
Right.
And because you said you had seen them open for AJ.
I'm pretty sure.
And,
I saw them somewhere.
And I was telling you that my ex-brother-in-law, the guy who robbed $1,100 worth of shit from my house, including my daughter's Wii, he's... Oh yeah, AJ Jordan's my boy, and he's gonna blow up, and I'm gonna have a hookup, and yeah, sure you are, dude.
What kind of hookup?
I don't fucking know.
I mean,
this guy was on fucking drugs. Who knows?
I know that AJ treats his, or I don't even know what AJ's up to nowadays.
Bluud Brothers would like to point out they're not affiliated with AJ. Anyway,
Cody, Bluud Brothers, I feel like I saw you guys back in the days of the Forum and the library back in the Maple Entertainment Complex. So this was so long ago. So, a lot's happened, but I'm pretty sure it was a show with him. I don't know. There were a lot of shows for a long time there. I can't keep them straight.
But anyway, he stole my PlayStation 3 back in the day, same guy. So, not AJ Jordan. He didn't steal my PlayStation. It was my ex-brother-in-law who kept saying, "Oh, that's my boy. He's my homie. We hang out all the time." And then he lived with me, and I never saw AJ Jordan. So when the fuck were you hanging out with him? I've never met AJ Jordan. I don't know the guy. I don't know anything about him. I don't know. I've got no, I've listened to his music. I don't hate it. So that's my extent of my, familiarity with AJ Jordan.
I don't hate AJ Jordan's music either. I will say that I like Bluud Brothers better.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about these classic Sabres games.
Yeah.
That have been on MSG the last couple of nights. The one the other night was a playoff game between the Sabres and the Devils. It went to 4 overtimes, at which, it's not hard to imagine that Martin Brodeur and Dominic Hasek are going to go 4 overtimes without allowing a goal. But that was they started showing that from the third period, so they could fit it into 3 hours.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And then last night they fit a game into 2 hours. It was the last game at Buffalo Memorial Auditorium, which I want to talk about in just a minute. Tonight there's a game from 2006 where they capped off a 10-game winning streak. The one tomorrow is a really important game in Sabres history. It is the first game in Manhattan at Madison Square Garden after 9/11, where the Buffalo Sabres took on the New York Rangers, and they both wore special jerseys that, instead of saying Rangers down the front or having the goat head on the front, they both said New York right down the front. Which is just a really memorable experience watching at home. So I'm looking forward to watching that one tomorrow. I don't know what Fridays is. I had the list up earlier, but I've closed it since then. So, but yeah, every night at 8:00, MSG is showing classic Sabres games.
That's pretty cool.
This week, and that's been a lot of fun to watch. And you were talking about, you heard me, cheering.
He's cheering like
cheering
he doesn't know what's gonna happen. Like
cheering for 26-year-old games. No, I don't know what's gonna happen though. I don't know that they won. I assume that they won these games.
Yeah.
Because why would they show them?
Why would they show a losing game?
Why would they show them if they didn't? But they're historic games.
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily going to be Sabres wins.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun to watch, and it's fun to and especially
it's hockey, when hockey is not happening live.
And you know how much I say I miss hockey.
I think this is probably helping Joe's sanity.
It is definitely helping my sanity to be able to watch these hockey games. But I like that game against the Devils that was on Monday, right? Like, I was fairly certain the Sabres won that game. But it was fun to watch that game because like I play NHL 94 every now and then.
Oh.
And NHL 94 is widely regarded as one of the best hockey video games ever made. And that was the team. You got Doug Bodger and Yuri Hemilev and Derek Plant and Pat LaFontaine. So it was like, oh, okay, that's the team I play as in NHL 94. This is the team I want to watch. And then the game last night, Pat LaFontaine scored, and it's like, oh yes, I get to hear RJ call Pat LaFontaine, la 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 Fontaine, So, but yeah, these have been a lot of fun to watch, and I actually, somebody had a sign in the game that they aired last night, and it said something along the lines of we're losing our building, but they're losing their team, because the Hartford Whalers, who they played in that last game at the Odd, 2 seasons later became the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh.
So I was interested to see, like, okay, well, did they know at that time that Carolina wasn't, or that Hartford wasn't going to be a team anymore? So obviously I look up the Hartford Whalers, and then I look up the Buffalo Memorial Auditorium because now I'm interested in learning more about the Odd. And what I've come to find out is that 2 of the oldest sports structures, places where sports took place in Buffalo, are still at least partially standing. One is the Buffalo Broadway Auditorium, which is now known as the Broadway Barn. It is down on Broadway in downtown. It's now a facility for the Buffalo Department of Public Works. And what's very interesting is that it is actually the oldest standing structure that has ever hosted a professional hockey game. That's right here in Buffalo, and it's still standing, and it's still there, and you can go, when all this is over, you could go walk right by it. You could go look at it on Google Maps right now if you want to on Street View.
Which we did before the show.
Which I did last night, and I'm like, I gotta show you these. These are cool. And then also the Rock Pile, where the Buffalo Bills played when they were an AFL franchise before they moved to what's now New Era Field. And also the Buffalo Bisons baseball team played at before they moved to what's now Salem Field. That's still standing. And not actually. That's not true. It's not entirely standing. They have the entrances on the northwestern and southwestern sides.
It's kind of cool because there's just doorways. It kind of makes you think you're like in an alternate universe where you're going to go through the doorway and it's going to be like, I don't know, Narnia or something.
Yeah, it's it was really cool. That's not what I want. I want the Rock Pile. Let me see if I can get you the that's not what I want. Disambiguation. War Memorial Stadium. It's at 285 Dodge Street. Which is near like Best Street in that area there. And just that block, like that whole block it's still a sports complex. And like Canisius plays their games there.
Yeah.
And or did. I don't know if they still do.
They don't right now.
Well, obviously. No, they stopped playing there in 1986, but well, I mean the stadium didn't exist after that. So, but it actually closed in August of 1987 with a Bison's game against the Nashville Sounds, which the Sounds won 7-5 with 25,000 plus spectators. And then, so that the entrances are still standing.
It's pretty cool.
So you can actually go down there when all this is over, and you can, or if you're just out for a walk, and you're in that area, you can walk by there and just see these entrances where the Buffalo Bills used to play when they were an AFL team before the AFL and NFL merged and they became an AFC team, moved to the Ralph, and then proceeded to do absolutely nothing for 70 years. They left. 1972 they left there. So so 50 years.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not 70, 50. Anyway. But yeah, that's a cool little piece of Buffalo history I did not know until I watched that Sabres game last night and was like, huh, let me learn more about the Odd.
Yeah.
And obviously, pieces of the Odd are now in KeyBank Center, and the cooling system. I don't know. You know what? I'm not sure. I could be wrong on this. It's either the cooling system from the Odd or the cooling system from the Broadway Auditorium that is now in Shays.
Really?
As part of their air conditioning system.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So
that's cool that they don't just throw that shit out.
Yeah, no, it's great that all of this, all this stuff is still around, and of course the Odd auctioned off seats and stuff when it closed.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have time and you're bored, and obviously right now
we have time.
Obviously, right now a lot of people have time and they're bored. But if you want to learn more about Buffalo, I'd suggest starting with the Buffalo Memorial Auditorium Wikipedia page, and just seeing where that rabbit hole takes you.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole.
Because that's exactly how I got to where I was. Seeing all this stuff that I never knew. The Broadway Barns is the oldest hockey facility, pro hockey facility still standing, which is great. And pro hockey's only been around for just over 100 years. It started in the late 1800s. So just over around 120 years or so.
I guess I never really thought about how much I don't know about sports.
Well, if you guys want the honest to God's truth, if you ever wondered what I'm reading when I'm on stage with Yellow Sauce, it is in fact a book about the origins of hockey. It's called the Forgotten Leaves and the Origins of Professional Hockey or something like that. It's one of the books I got from Running Board Hockey Fan, and they just send me books every now and then, just hey, do you want to review this book? Yeah, sure, why not? And then I just get random hockey books in the mail, and I actually found one when I was cleaning. It was the best places to play hockey in New York City.
Oh.
Or maybe Toronto. I have two. One is New York City and one is Toronto.
Okay.
Which are cities I like to be in. So maybe I'll play hockey in one of them one of these days. It's been a while. I miss playing hockey.
Excuse me.
Me and my buddies, we used to play, my cousins and, a couple of my buddies, we used to play hockey all the time, and just right in the middle of Whitney Avenue in Niagara Falls, right off of Hyde Park there.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to play right in the street there. Or, if we organized a little bit of a bigger game, we'd go down to the parking lot over at Sal Magley Stadium. And that was before, they renovated Sal Magley Stadium to what it is now. So, when it was that awful, copper color, that rusted copper color.
Because I don't know if I remember.
So this was, late 90s, early 2000s. We used to play probably around, 97, 98. We would play, every day. Because I was living on 22nd. And
you're so old compared to me.
I was living on 22nd, and they were living on Whitney. I was, in between Whitney and Pierce. So it was, just right around the corner, go play hockey with my cousin and my friends. And, but yeah, if you guys remember that long ago in Niagara Falls and seeing just windows randomly disappear at Sal Magley Stadium, yeah, there's probably a few of those orange hockey balls in there. just from us. I've definitely ripped a shirt or two climbing over the fences to get a ball. But we used to play all the time. It was I kind of miss playing hockey. Today's actually all my hockey friends. It was me and my buddy Greg Dick, my cousin Steve, my friend Jay. We all went to a concert.
Oh my goodness.
23 years ago.
You're old.
23 years ago today was my first concert, and the day that I got that solid advice that I repeat all the goddamn time, that people are probably sick of me saying, which is, when you get in there, grab onto the guardrail and do not let go or you will die. 23 years ago today, I saw Metallica with Corrosion of Conformity at the brand new Marine Midland Arena in downtown Buffalo.
Wow.
And that was back when the scoreboard was still up on the ceiling before it came crashing down.
Wow.
And then my next concert was Marilyn Manson in the same venue, and there was no scoreboard above me. Or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe the scoreboard wasn't there for Metallica, and Marilyn Manson was the show where I'm like, I'm not standing under that. But yeah, no, there's lots of, some memories. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to play a band called Perspectives, who have a May 23rd EP release. It was rescheduled because of everything going on right now in the world. They're also doing what it was kind of like a Facebook series of videos. It seems to be.
I didn't watch more than just like the intro.
Sure.
But it's the Corona Diaries. It's for entertainment. It's supposed to be funny. Don't take it seriously.
Just like this show.
Take me seriously.
Don't take me seriously. No, you know what? I say some serious stuff on here. Like seriously, like check out the Buffalo Memorial Auditorium Wikipedia page. Follow that rabbit hole. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And also, I miss playing hockey. So if anybody wants to play hockey when this is all over, let's get together and do it.
You guys can social distance hockey in the street on the street out here.
Like that wrestling match I watched the other day where the guys didn't touch each other. That was interesting. It was Joey Janela and some other guy I didn't know, but they were, doing arm drags and shit, but not actually like touching each other. Like pinning, like going for a cover, but one guy's over here and the other guy's like over here.
You know what the best wrestling move is right now?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
That was my fear going to the store today.
I know it was.
Anyway, let's get some music going and we're out of here. This is Flatline from Perspectives, and we'll see you next week on All WNY.
Everybody stay safe.
Yes, please wash your damn hands. The Think So Joe Show.
Spirit, let me speak. No longer to be weak and righteous. It was my time to spend with you. You were my lifeline. You gave me life, I'll give it back if it kills me.